I will never forget is when I was in second grade and there was glue on my chair, and Christian warned me before I sat on it, and we've been best friends ever since.
My Mackay memory is when Mr. Pablo threw the football on our table.
I will always remember all my wonderful teachers that I've had in Mackay, and I'll never forget them in middle school.
My Mackay memories when Mr. Fabo took us to the middle school field for a recess.
I always remember in the Underground Railroad when Mr. Fabo almost caught me. It was really scary.
I'll always remember the time when we tried to hide an orange football in my hair. It didn't work.
I always remember the time at the pool party when my friends and I ran to the shoe door. I'll never forget the time when Mr. Fabo threw snowballs at me while I was waiting in the circle. I will never forget all the wonderful teachers I've had this year. My Mackay memory was in Miss Walt's latest class. She made me an island table because I was talking too much. My Mackay memory is in kindergarten when Miss Jordan and my best friends built the bed. My Mackay memory is when at church I offered Mr. Fabo a man I could eat to buy and he said no. He gave me $1 anyways. My Mackay memory is when in the 4th grade Mr. Fabo pushed me in a wheelchair and I hurt my back.
My favorite memory at Mackay was when we went on the river trip.
My Mackay memory was the pool party because we got to swim.
A moment at Mackay I will never forget is the time when I jumped out of the trash can like a maniac to surprise Miss DeVille for her birthday. I will never forget the time in 2nd grade when I was the greatest grade. One Mackay memory I will never forget was when in 3rd grade Miss Kelly poured a bunch of shaving cream on our desk and told us to practice with our fingers. It was really fun. My Mackay memory is when I got to make a banner for Mrs. Wolflina's birthday party. It was really fun.
I'll never forget the time when I had so much fun in Mackay school and how I took my time with learning for these past 3 years. I'll always remember my awesome teachers and my great friends who made me much of a better person, especially Mr. Fabo. As I'm going to 10th middle school, I will always look back to my greatest years of Mackay, either to feel scared, nervous, or sad. Mackay school has been one of my greatest experiences I've ever had in my life, so I thank Mackay school for letting me achieve many great things.
I will always remember my great teachers that I've had throughout the years, especially Mr. Fabo.
My Mackay memories of Mr. Fabo made me dance from the stage from the whole grade. My Mackay memory is when Mr. Fabo came out and played basketball with us. He made 2 half courts.
When I look back at all my years at Mackay, I always remember my wonderful teachers and friends.
I'll never forget the time when I was in kindergarten, a wasp flew into our room and everybody was crazy. Well, it was not crazy.
When I look back on my years at Mackay, I will always remember my awesome teachers and Mr. Fabo, my principal.
My best memories of Mackay was the awesome field trips we took. I will always remember the time of Halloween when my class was playing the mummy rap game and I got my friend Ryan up into the paper. I will always remember the time in the 1st grade lunch period when Miss Bertolini asked me and Noel to sit next to the new kid room. We've been best friends ever since. My Mackay memory I'll never forget is in 3rd grade. We were reading for a really long time and Jane fell asleep in class. It was really fun. I'll never forget the great time we had at the pool party.
I'll never forget the time we played Underground Railroad and Mr. Fabo was the slave catcher. I walked around the corner, not very well, and he scared me. A lot.
My favorite Mackay memory moment was in 3rd grade when we got lizards and one of them escaped from its cage.
The thing I'll never forget is playing in the graduation orchestra. I'm rooting for you guys back there.
The Mackay memory I will never forget was at the pool party when Steve tried carving into baby swing. He wouldn't get out until Mr. Oliver had to take him.
I'll never forget the time when me and my friends went main man and stand and told his brother chased me around the village of my school.
I'll never forget the pool party where one of my friends dared me to make a sandwich out of all of the snacks. It tasted a lot better than I thought it would.
I will never forget the time in 5th grade when the nature center came. They brought in a snake and I was so scared.
My Mackay Memories when I had all the teachers in these past years. Thank you for making me the best person I can be today.
I'll always remember the time in 2nd grade when Mr. Bravo said I could use a laptop instead of a notebook for schoolwork.
I will never forget the time during 5th grade when the water spilled all over my backpack. My math books got soaked and I didn't have to do math that day.
I will never forget on April Fools when I brought in a prank that looks like there's a nail in my finger. Mr. Fabio brought me to Mrs. Lyons saying we were working on simple machines and she was terrified.
I will never forget when Mr. Fowler and I had a race on the football field. He beat me by the millisecond. I'm gonna beat you next time, Mr. Fowler.
I will never forget meeting all my friends.
I'll never forget the time in 3rd grade when a lizard jumped out of its cage and started crawling in Jay's head. It was its home for a while.
I'll never forget in the April Fools when Mr. Fabio said there's a squirrel in the hallway. I didn't fall for it.
I will always remember the time when the 4th grade went to the Franklin Mineral Museum. I was so happy when I found gold. Turns out it was fool's gold.
I'll never forget the time when the Tenafly Nature Center came to our school and the person took out an owl and the owl pooped on our rug. I will always remember my first day of Mackay. My most memorable Mackay memory is one day I was coming to school and Mr. Crabble called my name. I thought I was in trouble. Turns out he didn't need my help. I will never forget my teachers, aides, and everybody who taught me. I will never forget the time in kindergarten when I picked up and my shoe flew across the room. Thankfully, Miss Jordan didn't notice.
I will always remember the time when I walked in the 4th grade class and I saw my old friend from preschool body.
I will never forget the time when I jumped off the diving board at the pool party.
I will always remember when Mrs. Gunnan taught me how to play the clarinet and saxophone. Thank you.
I'll never forget the time when in 3rd grade there was a lizard and we named her Angel. The next week she died.
I'll always remember how Mr. Fabio teases me about falling on the floor. I'll always remember the first day of this year. Since I was new then, but Mr. Fabio helped me adjust to this.
My Mackay memory was when Galan and I made it to the underground burrow. It was really fun.
When I look back at my years at Mackay, I will always remember when I called my kindergarten teacher, Miss Sarah, Mom. I'll never forget the pool party and how we had a diving board contest. I won.
I'll never forget the time in 3rd grade when we got an ice cream party for finishing a book.
When I look back at my years at Mackay, I will always remember when we did the underground railroad.
I will always remember the time in 3rd grade when I got a lizard and a pen.
I will never forget our last PE class. We played Golden Nugget in the rain. Something I will never forget about Mackay are all my great friends that made me laugh.
One memory that I will never forget from Mackay is when I did a backflip on the diving board, but I hit my back in the wall.
I will never forget the pool party. I'm gonna jump into the pool without filling the water. It was freezing. I will never forget the time when I dressed up as Mr. Pebble for Halloween and was staring at my mask for like ever. I'll never forget the time in 3rd grade at field day we were at a station where we passed buckets of water to each other. All of a sudden my friend Emma splashed water on me. I was soaked.
I will always remember the time in kindergarten when the power went out
and we got extra end of the day free time while our parents came to pick us up.
I will never forget the time when at the pool party I played basketball. It was so much fun.
I will never forget this year in trucks when I ran my own mini cafe with my friend Victoria. I will always remember my wonderful teachers and friends.